All right, thank you. Welcome to Skylife TV. This is our usual program, the meeting point, where the two age groups they meet. The senior citizens and the young ones, where we learn from the senior citizens. Our senior citizens, like always, we have Mr. Roderick in the studio today, and I'll allow him to introduce himself for those who are coming for the first time to also know him a little bit. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and your career. We know you have a lot to offer here.
Yes, my name is Roderick Kasongo Chimpampwe. I'm a retired teacher and I've served for 35 years. 35 years.
That's great.
So it's a very good opportunity for me to share my journey, because life is a teacher.
Obviously. Okay, thank you very much for sharing with us. We're trying to deal with the issue of the challenges that youths are facing today, and how we can use the experience of the senior to tackle these challenges. And it's been really interesting for the past weeks that we've been discussing on this same topic, what we've learned. And I believe those who have been watching the videos and following us, they've learned a lot. And I think, Mr. Roderick, you can help us. How was it like being a youth in those days?
It was very interesting, because we never used to talk of the economy.
Okay.
It was the opposite way, where we are complaining of a lot of food which we used to have.
Okay.
And our parents were even saying, if you want to grow healthy, eat. So it was very interesting. Maybe about the economy, we learned about it later on, maybe when things maybe started maybe to be difficult. I remember at one time when 25 kg was more like less than 25 kg.
Like 25 kwacha?
No, 25 kg kilogram. 25 kg. It used to finish less than the expected time. It was more like it was not enough.
But this one now, you think the ones now is enough?
It's not even enough. It's not even enough. Because it seems the food basket and the families are not matching. They are not matching.
So like those days, what usually keep the youth? Today we have social media, we have a lot of things that people are doing. What was the thing that the youths were really involved in that kept them to become like? Because I believe during those days, you don't have a lot of the challenges that we have or the problems that we have among the youth. So what were they really busy with that was keeping them away from situation like we have today?
I would say first the parents. The parents were kind but firm. Kind but firm. They could talk to us nicely. Talk to us, and like my father, he understood the meaning of the names. He could not just name a child, giving the child any name. He could do first research,
Very important.
and then name. Like myself, I'm Roderick, which means famous king. He saw the potential in me. And it is true, because I started doing things at a tender age that I understand now. I understand.
I think that is a very good point you made there. Naming people. Naming.
Yes.
Your name tells a lot about you. Just your name, before you even say something, your name tells a lot.
Very much. And it's associated with Britain.
And
if the British. Yes.
If you look at in the Bible also, you will see how names were changed because of certain things that God wanted to do with some people. From Jacob, he gave him Israel. And then you come to Simon, he gave him Peter. Jesus himself, he changed him from Simon to Peter.
Yes.
So, but you look today, people are giving some names that are demonic, and they are something else that keeps people in a particular place, but they think it's some other challenge. I think that also play a very big role in our lives today.
You see, like namesake. A namesake is not a name. You find someone got JR, Junior. It's very common nowadays. The father maybe can be Martin, the son will be Martin. Instead of calling that Martin, the way I am on the song, he never used anything like JR or anything like that. It's that Martin, they will call him Junior. And Junior will be known all over.
And his no name.
It's not a name. And when you ask Junior, what is your name, Junior? Where do you stay? I stay at a black gate. Who is your father? And where does he work? My father is Daddy. And he works at the office. Which office? I don't know. Your mother?
Just very vague.
You see? So you cannot have, but when a child is told that you are Junior, my namesake, and your name is Martin, and what it means, where the name came from, the child will know. Because children have a lot of question marks or a lot of questions
They have a lot of
which
questions.
they have no answers.
And if you give them answer, it sticks. It
Yes.
stays with them.
They end up getting answers from friends who say anything to them. They will say anything to them.
So now we are looking because we based on our discussion and experiences and how things are out there, we know the dysfunction that we have among the people today around our communities is coming from the family.
Communication.
So how do we now, you see the family there, we have a lot of dysfunctional families around. A lot of, you see a family where a child is the one that is leading a child that needs somebody to direct them is the one leading.
Headed home. And
You go somewhere, you have just the man taking care of the family. Somewhere you have just the woman struggling to taking care of the family. Very few homes have both parents. So we're looking at how can we bring a simple model based on your experience, a simple model that can help these families to walk on in life in a maybe successful way to bring up the children of tomorrow. What can you advise a family that is dysfunctional in terms of bringing them together and helping them forge a better future?
As I said in the last program, that giving them hope,
Very
hope
important.
is very important. Because most of them are hopeless.
A lot.
And they think maybe they are alone. They are not alone.
How do we give them that hope?
That hope is by identifying those families.
You know, I want this our program to be a very practical something.
Yes.
I think how can we start doing that?
By
How can we start doing that? Organizing
being
something
social, like for instance, you greet me. I greet young people.
Okay, like Christmas is coming.
Yes.
I want us to, come together. We do something where we can invite this family, and then we can start instilling this hope in the parents, so that they can instill in the children.
Yes.
I want us to do something around this area.
Yes, and we give them the hope. We say, don't lose hope, because God is in control. If we talk to them nicely, they will be happy in that way, and they will know that God is in control. Because if there is no communication, you are not giving any hope to anyone. They will say everything has crumbled.
Very true. And you last time you told me you are, I think, the president of Teacher something.
I'm outgoing. The Rwanda branch is a not chairperson. It's a very powerful union for teachers. That is the motherboard to all the unions.
Okay.
And at the branch level, meaning the schools around this area, 12 schools. 12 schools. Material Girls, Chunga.
Like I said, I want us to be very practical this time around. December is coming. I want us to do something for Christmas. But we just have to identify those families that are being led by single parents and children. And then we can do something. I want you to do something about your position as the teacher head. To get us a space. Maybe one of the classrooms there, we can invite them. We get the cameras there. We get some gift for Christmas. Maybe we buy we divide the bags in plastic, we share salt, all those things, give them some. And then while we do that, we give them that hope. We talk to them.
That would be very good, because they'll know that there are people who care. Because the way it is now, I feel when it's month end, most people don't, those even who have a good family, when it's month end, they don't think of their families. They think of what they are going to do. Immediately they touch money, they don't think of their families. And if a dependent, or say a child in that home, or children in that home, they won't even talk to that person, just give them the money, or tell them food is there, what have you is there, then they'll go out and enjoy themselves. When the money finishes, that's the time they realize that they are looking at them. And now the children, when they look at them, they get surprised and confused. They say, what is happening?
Because in the house, the way the parents they live, the way the elder brothers and sisters they live, that is what these younger ones copy to become.
Very much.
So if they live like you are saying, it becomes also a very bad setup for these ones to become.
Yes, they will follow anything, because me, I was the oldest son and second born. First born was my late sister. We used to work for the city council. Then I was more influential because I used to do a lot of things, and I was funny, somehow funny. My young sisters, young brothers, they had the hope. And when my father would give commands, and when he says something, I would say, yes, what Dad is saying is the truth. Let us listen to Daddy, and they could also listen. And even now, we remember him for being kind and firm.
And a lot of families now, you see, even those that are together, there is something that the mom wants to do that will drag the children to her, and the father also is trying to do something that will pull the children to her. There is even the family that is together, there is that split in most of the families.
And in most of the families, children are more on the side of the mother. Because the mother spends more time, or mothers are very influential. You see? So if the parents, the mother, the father, sit down together and talk nicely to the children in a play way, a friendly way, firm but kind, the children will listen to them. Let them not rush.
Meaning the mother and the father, they have to be one. Their voice, their everything. If even the mother is saying something wrong in front of the children, the father has to support, not to make the mother look bad. Is this so?
We will support in an indirect way, not to make this, as you have said.
So maybe somebody is listening and they are going through a challenging time in their life. Maybe in a relationship, like in the household relationship type of setup. And they are finding it very difficult to cope in terms of because this thing we are seeing is very common in family.
Very common.
Where this one is trying to do things to pull the children to. It's very common. I've seen that. I've seen families going through such things. So it's just the father and the mother has to be united.
Yes, they have to. It's one body.
The Bible says that.
Yes. How do you separate one body?
You
don't have to separate that, because immediately you are married, you are leaders, and you have to take care of the children. Who we say children, it's a gift from God, and as parents, we are only messengers, or we are custodians who take care of these children on behalf of God.
And if you mess up their life, God is going to hold you responsible.
Yes, and it's a time bomb. It's a time bomb. The same children of yours, they will call you names later on.
So there is something I've been hearing around a lot. And yesterday there is a lady, she was here, and we were discussing. She told me the uncle is I think the nephew, but he's an elderly man. He's in the hospital.
Okay.
And he said something that he also went mad some times back. I said, what was the problem? He said the wife gave him medicine to kill him. to take the property. And I've heard that story so many times in Zambia. Is it true? Is it that common here where women, they kill the man so that they become owner of the property?
It's very, very common. Very common. That's why when you are a couple, it's better you pray.
Be
honest
in God.
Yes.
Because those who are doing those
be
things,
honest
they
to each
are
other.
not Christian.
Because you never know what the other partner will be thinking of. The other partner will be thinking that you are at the same level when
They are doing
something else, and it's a bomb in waiting.
But why is it like this here?
It is money. You know, people they like money as a problem. They would think of money, not a person. You'd think maybe if someone loves you, when what they love is the money.
It's the thing you have.
Especially that when they feel that you are old and you are useless. They will
kill you and take
kill you.
property.
It's very common because we find that some places there are women, single women, staying there, ask of their husbands, and it's looking at statistics.
A lot of the houses, you see them
Statistics.
only mothers.
Only mothers.
Where are the men?
Some of
these
men don't just die; they die before they die. They are supposed to live longer.
You know, when I was that side, there was a man along the road where we were passing. He was doing a lot of vegetable, nice vegetable he was planting. You come there is no time you won't find fresh vegetable. Always, he's selling them. He has the house here, another house unfinished here. And I think they told me he has 2 wives there. I don't know. That man was very strong, not sick. One day the guy just died like that. Just died.
Maybe the 2 wives connived.
And after he died, not long they start building that other house there. They completed it, now they've put people there. And I asked one of my friends, what happened? He said, they killed the guy, they killed him.
Yeah, it's very common.
That's sad.
Very common.
It's very bad.
It's rare that men would do the opposite.
Men, you can't do that. It's not even a thought.
Yes, because for us men, we think of a wife as your keeper, a mama. And at an old age, when you don't have a wife, it is very embarrassing. People ask you a lot of questions.
Why? The woman, they don't care. They don't care.
Why you are single, you're not married, or you have no wife? So when you are old, that's a time when you are supposed to know God. In that way, you'll be protected.
When you are younger, you need to know God.
Yes, but if you had missed that chance,
if you miss the chance, yes.
The way maybe I was myself, I had a lot of question marks in myself. A lot of question marks because I could not understand being gifted. So I was trying to argue inside me. Arguing until later on I realized, no, all these gifts I'm given, the gifts, gifted person, it's not me, it is God. I realized a lot of things from childhood. I used to give most of the time than to receive. To give than to receive. And it is in my blood. After realizing, that's when I said, the only way to go.
You know, what we are discussing here is very important. And the more we discuss, the more I'm just saying it being so very difficult and complicated to sort the same thing out. Because think about the family we are even talking about. There are families that if you check out on them, a lot of them, they've killed the man out of the family. Now they are there. Some of them, they are suffering. Some of them, they thought, no, when we do that, we're going to... Yes. And now it turns out to be a very bad decision that they made to kill the man.
That's why I like...